right? Think of it this way. You're laying down to sleep, but you have this orchestra right in front of you. And let's say they have all their instruments ready. Like at any moment, they're just going to blast and play. So you laying down sleeping knowing that at any moment they could just
Oh my gosh.
and just
Is that even
the
really
sound
sleep?
goes off.
Is that really even
exactly.
rest?
You're sitting there resting and you're like, man, any moment it could happen. Any moment it could happen. And then, you fall asleep and then boom, right, and then you're up and then you have to go. Especially
All right, so welcome back to another episode of the What's Your Motor podcast. Today I have a special guest here today. His name is Justin Young. He and I met through one of my son's teammates' parents out there in Lake Country. Shout out LCFC football club. He and I actually, we had lunch maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mikasa Sukasa. Shout out Mikasa Sukasa for the shrimp and grits. I think you had that.
I had the same thing.
And I had the fish.
Oh, you had the fish.
Yeah,
Catfish.
I had the fish. So
Catfish.
super delectable. But I'm extremely happy to have him on, just to talk about his journey, talk about the him being a fighter, being a husband, and a lot of things that he's kind of been able to overcome and things like that. We have great conversations off camera, so I'm very excited to see
Thank
this.
you, bro.
Continue
Yeah.
to go on. He's been a great individual to know. We keep in contact and things like that. So please welcome Justin Young to the What's Your Motor podcast. How you doing today?
Wow, thank you, man.
Yeah, man, this is a great conversation. We were
That's a
just
good
talking.
intro.
Yeah, man. You're an accomplished man. I really appreciate it. And I think we were talking like we just instantly clicked in terms of like vibe, like demeanor, things like that.
Yeah, I
And,
remember you said while we were having lunch, you were like, "Man, we should have been a podcast right now." Like
yeah,
the way we were talking.
I mean, how long was lunch?
It was a minute. It was a
we were
while.
there for at least
sitting there.
almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we were sitting there talking, just going,
Catching
flowing.
up.
So it was.
Yeah.
Hey, much credit to you though. You're an easy person to talk to.
Hey, likewise,
Yeah.
man. So
yeah, and shout out Andy Kneisler for
shout
hooking
out
us up.
Andy.
Yeah,
Shout out Andy. Gotta plug Andy. Andy.
Andy was cool for that. Recommended me. It's an honor for people to think of me.
No,
in,
for
in
sure.
that light.
Him
So-
and his wife like raved about you. Like I came to one of Walt's games. He's like, dude, like, you know who you need to have in your podcast? And I'm like, who? He's like, you need to have Justin on your podcast. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
And, Andy,
he's
he's
cool,
like,
man.
Andy's like, great guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly his expression.
yeah.
Great guy.
So,
Yeah.
and I know they're gonna be excited to see the episode and things like that. But it's just great to have you on. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I just got off shift this morning and I'm feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah, ready to attack the day.
Yeah,
do
got
my
you.
day-to-day thing.
Got your caffeine?
I did. Got my caffeine ready.
And what did you get again? Because I usually get refreshers with my son. What did you say you got?
I got an Americano. Americano, which is just espresso and water.
Gotcha.
It's I don't do the whole fruit bunch of sugar. And,
Okay.
I just do straight coffee.
Hey, whatever that is, because I don't know. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I may try it.
My wife got me hooked, man. Once I met her, she put me on to coffee, sushi. I never did
Really?
any of that stuff. Yeah, but now, yeah, we got an espresso machine at home now.
Oh my God, you're spoiled. You spoiled. Oh yeah. You said that that's your thing you need.
Happy wife, man. She wanted it, so we got it.
No, I got you. So tell us a little bit about like your upbringing, where you're from, maybe siblings and things like that.
Okay, yeah. So I'm from Milwaukee.
Yep.
Born and raised. So yeah, lived here my whole life. Don't live here anymore, but
Gotcha.
lived here my whole life. I was mostly north side, moved around a little bit, raised by my grandmother and my aunt.
Gotcha.
So strong women always have been in my life.
Got you. And you're super close to your aunt.
Super close.
Got
That
you.
is my ace. Man, dude. She calls me up. She's the only person that calls me up early in the morning, 6 a.m., even when I'm heading to work, and just be like, I love you.
Wow.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? I remember one time I was on duty. I'm shopping. because we grocery shop
Gotcha.
for ourselves, and it's to make lunch and dinner. And I answer my phone. It's just her. She's like, I don't want anything. I just called to tell you I love you. I'm like, yeah, I love you too. And my coworker's like, who is that? I'm like, it's my aunt. She's like, she just calls you and does that? Like, yep. Just randomly, and she raised me just in the best way. And I didn't realize that. Well, I always realized it, but it really hit home when I had kids of my own.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, wow, she did her thing. Like,
Shout out Auntie.
She understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment.
For real. Like, she
it.
did it for real. And she had 2 daughters of her own, my cousins, which are actually like sisters to me.
Gotcha.
Now, since I grew up with them, they're older. But we all have grown to be our own successful people.
For sure.
For her to do that, it's like, I hope I do that with my children.
No, for
I
sure.
just really hope I raise good people, because I think that was her aim, is just to raise good people. She didn't pressure us to do, anything. She let us, go off and just explore.
Experience.
And that's an experience. And that was her thing. Like, go try different things. Go do this. Go do that. Yeah.
Man.
And it just happened to work out. But yeah, went to Bradley Tech High School.
Bradley
We
Tech.
talked about that.
Yep.
Went to Bradley Tech, played football. I wrestled, did track. And then after that, I kind of knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a firefighter.
All along.
Like from my junior year in high school.
Okay.
And that was credit to my aunt again.
I remember this.
I was in the kitchen and she was like, all right, what are you going to do? What do you mean?
Your junior year.
What are you going to do? Actually, it was sophomore year, but
Okay.
she said, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I don't really know. And she said, well, it's coming time where you need to start thinking about that. And then she suggested a few things, and she said, well, what about firefighting? I know some firefighters. And as soon as she said it, it clicked right in my head. It was like, man, that sounds cool. That sounds like something I can do. I didn't know much about it at the time. But then she hooked me up to the Milwaukee Brotherhood of Firefighters, which is an all-black organization in Milwaukee, of Milwaukee Firefighters. They were like hosting, doing some things with kids. Got hooked up with them. They told me about the Explorer program at the Milwaukee Fire Department, which is now the Junior Fire Institute. That's what it's called now, but back then it was the Explorer program. Okay. Where you go once a month on like a Saturday, and you just go there and they teach you all about firefighting. So they have you don the gear. They tell you all about what the firefighter schedule is, how things are done with operations, and then you actually do like scenarios and just do firefighting activity. Yes, it's still going on right now.
What is that called again?
Junior Fire Institute. So if you have any young teenagers,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
man, I would highly suggest it, because afterwards it opens the door for you to go into the fire cadets, which is I believe it's like 17 to 20-year-olds. Okay. And you actually are employed by the Milwaukee Fire Department. They pay for your education, and then it's like you have a guaranteed spot on the fire department when you finish it.
But you can start
they
early.
They didn't have it when I was going through the Explorer program. They didn't have the cadet program back then. But then now they have it. So it's a great opportunity, man. They pay you to go to school. You're getting paid while you're in school, and you're gaining seniority while you're there. So pension, everything. You're good.
See,
you are set. More. I wish more teenagers knew about it. I mean, obviously they do, because it's a hard process to get through. I tried to have my nephew go through it. He didn't get through it. It was tough.
Is it the physical piece, or is it like the exam? Like, what is?
I think both.
Okay,
it's a mixture of both. I think it's more so the academic piece, because you really have to be on your P's and Q's, like filling out the application. If you mess up on the application, you're done. Right. That kind of thing. So it's real adult stuff, and you have to be a good student, a good role model. They vet you, because they don't want any bad, apples getting through.
But it's super beneficial, and then it's something that sets up the young man.
Correct.
Right?
Or woman.
Or woman. Sorry. Or woman.
Yep. So it sets up the young folks to really get in there and have a career. It's like that. You can't ask for a better opportunity than that. But so I was going through the Explorer program, met some young at the time they were young, now they're older. But they met some young, dope firefighters,
Okay.
man. Shout out Rob Bland.
Okay.
He's still, I think he's a captain right now in Milwaukee. I teach with him too at MATC.
MATC plug?
Yeah, MATC plug. And there's some other firefighters there too that I met, and I was like, I looked up to him, and I'm like, man, I could be that, and it's real. Like when you see somebody that's kind of like you that grew up in the city,
right,
that is now doing it, it's like motivational. It's like I can do this.
So you felt that.
I felt
when
that.
You were able to observe that and be around this individual.
Correct. Yeah. Because at the time, I didn't grow up like a student. I didn't go to school to really learn. I went to school to be cool. Even though I'm not gonna say I was a cool guy or anything like that, but that's what I was trying to do. That was my focus. That was my aim. Now I see some teenagers that are like squared away, especially that are going through that
locked
cadet
in
program.
already.
Locked in already. They already know like what their goal is.
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time, so I was kind of like just floating through trying to figure it out. I think most people do though, so I don't want to be too hard on myself. But
for sure. And that's I'm glad that you brought that up because Raleigh Tech is like a trade
school.
Right. And now
I was in the welding program.
So that's cool because a lot of schools were typically just focus on college, go to college.
Right.
Now we're starting to see this pendulum swing where we have even private institutions and educational spaces like high schools are bringing in trades inside of the school.
Smart.
And finding tracks to partner with MATC or WCTC and these other trades are coming about. So that's man. I like the fact that they, that you had that opportunity. I wish I would have been privy to that.
Yeah. My aunt put me on to that. So then once I, did that Explorer program, once I graduated high school, I was working a job. I worked at Applebee's at the time. I was a host, server, then bartender. And then I went to MATC, took my Gen Eds downtown. The fire classes are obviously in Oak Creek, where the fire program is, and started going there. Met some cool people that really like motivated me even more. Man, I was so fortunate to meet the people because it is really all who you're around. Sometimes when you don't have a direction of your own and you don't know how to really work hard, how to really lock in. I met this guy. He actually has my name, Justin. He and I like clicked. It was him, myself, my friend Ryan, another friend of mine named Lars. We really locked in fire school, and it was like we were all getting hired. We knew it. We at least we had that aspiration, like, all right, we all getting hired, and we all did get hired.
Gotcha.
Somewhere full time. But then I got into an internship program with the city of Greenfield, which is the fire department I work for now.
Gotcha.
And then from then on, I worked hard, got in, and now it's been 12 years.
12 years.
12 years, yeah, man. I if you would have asked me back then if I would be in the position I am in now, I wouldn't have been certain. Don't know. Like that's reaching. That's reaching now, But it's amazing how like just life, you just progress in life like that. Yeah.
So like I know that you said your aunt brought up firefighting to you like sophomore year. Do you remember, like, how we have like our subconscious, right? Do you remember a time maybe when you were a child that you thought of anything dealing with being a firefighter, like in a fire truck or just anything? You seen a movie? Like, can you think of anything in your subconscious?
9/11.
9/11.
9/11. Yep. I remember I was in class and a teacher came in, Miss Chambers. Okay. I was at Steuben.
Okay.
Middle school. It's closed now. I think it's French immersion.
Okay.
I want to say that's what it is now. But back then it was Steuben. And she told us like kind of what happened, rolled in the TV
for you to watch it,
turned it on for the whole class, and we just watched as like they replayed the planes going into the buildings and the World Trade Center. And I remember seeing that, and then they started showing like firefighters like pictures on the TV, and I was like, wow. And I didn't think that impacted me until later. I realized I was like, that did.
Exactly.
Because that's when she said firefighter, I was like, because I remember thinking like, wow, those dudes are heroes.
Brave.
Like brave. You know, the ultimate sacrifice.
No, seriously.
You know what I mean? Like the ultimate sacrifice. And now I didn't know what I know now as far as like firefighting tactics and things like that and the risks.
Right.
Because it is, people think it is dangerous. It's inherently dangerous. But with the knowledge that we have, I mean, it's just normal for us now. You know, you go fight a fire, nobody's really
apprehensive.
You know, you're just going because you know you have a task. There's things that needs to be done, certain things that need to be done, and you're just focused on tasks. You're mitigating tasks, and you got your brothers and sisters with you to handle it. So everybody feels really secure for the most part.
Does that come? Do you think that came over time, or is that right away?
Definitely over time.
Gotcha.
Definitely over time. I remember I used to have, I didn't realize it, but when I got on the job, I used to have like these, I wouldn't say it was a panic attack, but it was like a response where my heart rate would automatically just rise real quick. And I get sweaty, adrenaline rushing. Yeah, I'm in the seat and it'll be going to like a fire alarm or a car accident where it's like, not really, I look at it. Don't even,
right?
You know, I'm yawning.
Right.
Not yawning, but
no, I know
not,
what you mean. I get it.
But it's not a big deal. But when I initially got on the job, that was happening. People were like, "Man, you all right?" Like I didn't realize it, but oh yeah, you know. But it was like the adrenaline, and I actually had. So I told you I teach at MHCC, but I had a student come ride along, one of my Firefighter 1 students, and I was driving him to an emergency response for a vehicle accident, and I look over and I see myself and him. He was like, you know, he was going, he was like, I'm like, you okay? He was like, man, this is the best day of my life.
To just the experience.
Yeah, we were driving emergency. He couldn't believe it. He was going wild in his head. I could just see it. I'm like, you okay?
And as like you said, like as nerve-wracking as it can be, he still found like the beauty in being able to experience it.
He did. Yeah.
But it's also him being able to have that opportunity to see that. You know what I mean? To see that side. I don't think a lot of us get to see. We may see a crash, we may see a scene, we may hear about something on the news, but you're directly involved, and we don't get to be there and be like, oh, let me climb that ladder with you, or let me go in there with you to see how you assess and you know, accomplish the goal of whether it be retrieving somebody or putting out a fire or getting somebody out of a vehicle or resuscitating somebody, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just think about all that on your mental too, right?
I try to be cognizant of that when people are talking to us, because sometimes, you know, it's not a big deal for us per se, because it's our job, it's what we do.
Correct.
But then I try to put myself in the mindset of someone else when they're viewing us and they you know, talk highly of us, and we're like, no, it's not that big of a deal, you know. Like, you know, if you ask any firefighter or any first responder, you know, if they're a hero, they'll probably say no.
Got you.
We don't view ourselves as like heroes. It's not. No, it's we have a duty, we have a job, and we're doing it to the best of our ability. That's it. If we happen to save someone, we happen to resuscitate someone, just another day. I mean, it sounds
I get it
here, but you know, I just don't want to.
It's your duty. I'm here to do my duty. I'm here to do my job. Yes. I appreciate it. I enjoy it. Yes. But humbly, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yes. And I feel like God put me in this position to do it. So, you know, I don't take it for granted. Because I love when we get certain calls and I'm really making an impact. I don't know. It's a feeling that I can't really explain, or it's hard to articulate it. But it's just great. Like I tell people all the time, I know I have friends that don't really like to go to work. You ever meet someone that's like, man, I got to go to work today? Like,
yes.
I love going to work. I do. And it's weird to talk to other people about that because they don't really get it. It's like, man, I love going to work. Like when I have to go to work, it's like, all right, I get to go to work.
Right.
Or, you know, I mean, I'm thinking about things about work. even when I'm not at work.
Right.
Not that I'm obsessed or anything like that. I know how to disconnect and,
Right.
and really take care of family and friends
Right.
and things like that, and take care of my personal life. But it's more of a passion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is it even work then? Remember, Tom Sawyer was like work was play.
right.
So
Yeah.
is it even work?
Yeah.
So like you said, you feel like that's your purpose. Like this is something you enjoy. Like
Right. Certain aspects of it is work.
Okay.
Because there's certain things that we do that.
certain tedious things, right?
Yeah. There is.
But necessary.
Yeah. But necessary.
Gotcha.
Right. Exactly. But because every call isn't serious. Everything that we do is not serious. For real. It's not. Everything that we do is not serious. Not to say that it's not an emergency, but it's, some of it is abuse of the 911 system.
What? So I did. I have to come clean. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, I did abuse it.
Did you do the 911-0024?
No, I didn't do that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, but I did do that. So I had just learned how to use the phone.
Okay.
And this is rotary phones. Right? So I'm using a rotary phone. So it was a long
like
time
that?
ago.
You gonna date yourself?
So my mom was gone, my sister was there, and I'm like, I'm gonna call and check on my grandma. So I called 374-3245. I'll never forget it.
Still remember.
So I call her, hey grandma, how you doing? Whatever. Got off the phone with her, told her I love her. And I'm like, the phone's still here. I'm like, let me call 911. Why call 911? So I answered. They answered. I hung up. I'm like, oh, they answered.
They called back.
I called back.
Oh,
yes.
You did.
They.
Okay.
I called back, and I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I'm dying. So this is what I'm doing. I'm like 5 years old. Hang it up. I'm cracking up laughing. I'm like 5, 6 years old. So I'm just a kid, right? Before you know it, somebody banging on the door.
Yeah.
They didn't call my mom. They come in like, somebody been playing 911? My mom had a couch. I'm sitting on the couch looking. I'm not saying nothing. They look at me like, it was you, wasn't it? And it was me.
Ooh, yeah. You got in some trouble.
To say I got in trouble, boy, calling 911. I actually wrote a memoir about that when I was teaching.
God, dude.
So when you said abusing,
that's the definition right there.
I was a kid.
Yeah, you were a kid. Yeah.
Yes.
I have gotten calls like that too.
Really?
Yep. Where someone, is playing around.
Is it usually a kid or is it like a mixture or
It's usually a kid.
Got you.
It's usually a kid.
I've never done it since.
Of course not, because you learned your lesson. Yeah.
Yes.
You scared like crazy. I remember we did that's why I said 911-0024 from that song.
Yeah.
And we did that, and I didn't know, like, as soon as you hit that 911, it's gonna automatically go. So you didn't even get to finish the rest of the digits. But then they called back, and then had to talk to my grandma, and we got in trouble. Me and my cousins.
Oh my gosh.
We got in trouble.
Exploration.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
it's just kids, curiosity, doing things, yeah.
Man, it was crazy. Oh my gosh, you
But
just
that
took
was
me
innocent,
back.
though. I mean, kind of innocent what you did, but except for the I'm dead.
Yeah, why am I playing? I was
that was wild.
I'm dying. You know what I mean? I put the voice on, hung it up. Like I did too much. My imagination was too wild. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until you see those flashing red lights. So, give me an example of something that was like, you was like, okay, this is ridiculous.
So we had a lady that would call us, elderly female. She would call us, just to move her furniture. No lie. She would call us to move her furniture.
But
she was bedbound.
Gotcha.
But she'd be like, I want my bed to be moved over here. And we get there and it's like, because part of you is like, I want to help this person,
right?
Do this. But if I do this, they will call back over and over again, just for this thing. And we would tell her, you can't call for this. This is not a reason to call 911. This is not a reason to have firefighter paramedics here right now. We could be doing something else. Right. Somebody could be dying right now. We are here for you. There could be a fire and we are here for you. So it's like, you can't. But that
move
had
the
to be
bed?
like the most. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. We moved it. We moved it. But it's still like you cannot do this, and she would do it, and man, it was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous. It's like why? But you want to be nice because that's we're inherently we're there to serve. We're public
Citizens and things like
servants,
that, right,
so
for
it's
sure.
like all right, we'll do it. But because I know some people that would not. I mean, we're not all the same. That's for sure. I know some people that would be like, nah,
Really?
we out.
I got you.
we out 100%. But we just try to help people as much as possible, and that's one thing I have a problem with too. Is like I'm always trying to help. I'm always trying to be helpful. So like when someone asks me to do something, it's really hard for me to say no.
Gotcha.
I have to really start respecting my time. And I'm talking more so like even off of the job. 'Cause
Gotcha.
I'm always like yes.
Yeah,
yes.
got you.
That's just who I am. But yeah, for that instance, it was that's a rough one. It's like
I told somebody I was having a firefighter on. They wanted to ask the question. It's a silly question, but you remember on cartoons they usually show like a firefighter going to rescue a cat from like a tree, right?
I've done it.
What?
Yep, I've done it. And
Never
I
is this.
So I have one of my chiefs always says he's like I've never seen a dead cat in a tree. Never seen a cat carcass in a tree. They come down. They will come down. But when someone calls, it's like, oh, a cat's in a tree. What do? Throw
Never.
a ladder. We go up there. get it.
Never.
Yep.
So you
100%.
rescued a cat from
Trees. I've gotten cats out of in between walls of a home that I don't know how the cat got in there, but it was in between the wall. I've gotten some.
And you guys have to respond to that.
Ducks from sewer grates. I've gone down into the sewer, collected ducks, brought them out to mama. Yeah. We do a lot of extra.
Yeah, these are extracurriculars, like
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's not really part of the job description, but I mean it is in a roundabout way. But
No, this is necessary. This is
But
necessary.
yes,
As silly as it may
we
sound,
absolutely do get called for cats in the tree.
this is necessary because I appreciate. I want the well-roundedness, like to know exactly what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Besides what people
you see on
make,
TV.
yeah, and what what I mean, what you think? Because
Yeah.
I think they had wasn't like a Chicago Fire
Yeah.
show and things like that you can kind of see.
Yeah, that's drama.
Yeah, you
That's
know what
a
I'm saying?
lot of
Like,
drama,
so it's
yeah.
like people may think that, but I can hear directly from you. And I know that like when you have to stay overnight and things like that at the station, and then you get calls. What is that like to get a call and you like woken up out of your sleep and you have to respond? You have to get the gear and things like that. We see it on the movies and
Yeah.
things like that. But what is
Yeah.
that like for you?
It is it's different, man.
Okay.
Because think of it this way: when you are, let's say, people think like, all right, yeah, you guys get to sleep while you're at work, but think about
Who says that?
Well, some people in the public, even when we're grocery shopping, hey, I pay your salary. Like, thank you. Yeah, you do. Thank you. I'm providing you a service. That's great. It's what you pay for.
My mom used to work at
Pick
Pick and say she used to love her firefighters.
Yeah,
in North Shore.
that's good. That's awesome. But some people in the public, they'll stop and I'll pay your salary. Like, yep, you do. Yep, thank you.
Isn't that crazy though? Real quickly, is it? And I'm gonna speak for myself. It's kind of like disrespectful, right? For you to feel that as a public servant, that yes, I do get rest, but you understand what I'm doing,
Yeah.
and I really technically kind of like don't get rest because I'm disturbed.
I was about to hit that. So when you are, even when we do get rest, right? Think of it this way: you're laying down to sleep, but you have this orchestra right in front of you, and let's say they have all their instruments ready, like at any moment they're just gonna blast and play. So you laying down sleeping, knowing that at any moment they could just,
Oh my gosh,
and just
is that even
the
really
sound
sleep?
goes off.
Is that really even
exactly?
rest?
You're sitting there resting, and you're like, man, any moment it could happen. Any moment it could happen, and then you fall asleep, and then boom, right, and then you're up, and then you have to go. Especially if it's because there's different tones for different things. So like if it's an EMS call, you know the tone for that.
Gotcha.
If it's a fire, you know the tone for that. It's like a loud blast, at least for us. It's like a loud blast of a long tone. It's beep. As soon as you hear that, you're up, heart rate's up. You're trying to get dressed, stand up, get in the rig, get out as fast as you can. You got to listen to things, change the radio channel, everything. You know, yeah,
These are
you're already
conditional
starting to think.
responses.
You're already starting to think about actions that you're gonna take and things that you need to do, especially based off of dispatch information. I mean, think about it. In the matter of, we have to be out the door within 90 seconds, right? For 60 to 90 seconds for a fire
Suited and
response.
booted.
Yeah, out. So less than 5 minutes ago, I was at rest, and now I'm headed to
Wherever.
this emergency. Yeah, sirens blaring,
under 90
horn,
seconds.
everything. You're rolling, and it's a wild thing to think about. Like, man, I was just sleeping a moment ago. Not that I'm thinking about this as I'm going, but you know, retrospectively, looking back at it, it's like, wow, that is wild.
Yes.
You know, like, yeah. So, and that's why now they've implemented certain things that help mitigate that. So, like, our tones are a soft ramp up. It's not like a immediate blast. It's a low, and then it gets higher and higher and higher, loud. And we have red lights in our rooms that will illuminate first to kind of trigger a response from you. So, like, a lot of firefighters and first responders have to deal with heart attacks and strokes, cancer, but heart attacks in particular were very prevalent because of that. Right out of your sleep, boom, and then your heart rate's going right away.
Yep, I can imagine.
You know, so that's why they implemented those certain things that help kind of mitigate that. Because of that response that you have. As soon as the tones go off, I mean, it's go time. You gotta be on and
popping.
So to think about that is not really, like you said, it's not quality sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
You're always on alert.
Not to say that I haven't been deep in some sleep and gotten a call where I'm like, where am I? What am I? What is happening right now? Because I have.
But that's real.
When you're dead tired, especially if you had a long day, depends on the day you had before too, and the amount of sleep that you got, even when you were at home, especially when I had little ones at home, and you come into work tired, then you have a busy day, then you drop at night to go to sleep. And sometimes, I mean, I've slept through tones before. Like I have, where my coworkers had to come wake me. Hey, we got a call. Like, oh,
right.
Getting up, and then you feel bad, and it's like, oh man, you feel horrible.
But you're human, right?
Yeah, you're human, right? Yeah, you try to just not let that happen again. But it's your body.
Yes.
There's nothing you can really do about it.
And that's, that's a stressor too.
It is,
like, you know what I mean?
Because then when you get back, you're like, I can't let that happen again.
Yeah.
I can't sleep through a call again. So then you're really like, I can't sleep. Then you just ruin.
Which is tough.
Yeah, which is really tough,
Man, that's
and then the next day, depending on what you have in your personal life, whether you have a second job or a family with little ones, you have to go home, and then some people don't get to take a nap or sleep when they get home because you have life.
Right.
You have to keep moving. So then you're tired.
And how many kids do you have?
Two.
So then I'm sure they're keeping you busy. You got to spend time with the wife.
Absolutely.
You
Right.
got to take care of your duties at home.
I think we talked about this before, like, because I have a commute to get to work or get home and work. So when I get home, sometimes I'll just sit in the driveway in my truck, and I'll just like, all right. Sometimes I'll drive home with no music, no anything on, and just like try to get some quiet time, but then if I'm tired, I will put on a podcast or some music or something like that. But then once I get home, I'll sit in the driveway, and I won't sleep, but I'll just close my eyes and just sit there in silence for a little bit and just give myself some time, do some deep breathing, kind of just debrief a little bit, like,
How necessary? Why is that so necessary? Because you speaking from that perspective, and I know I don't do what you do, but I know sometimes I pulled up, got into the garage, and I'm like, let me just turn this car off and sit down for a minute.
Because you're overstimulated. You just need that time to just kind of exhale, have some silent. And I think everybody needs that in their life, especially if you're busy running around doing this and that. You need to take a second for yourself, at least a few minutes or so, and just chill out, have some silence. Because man, we never really get a break. We got these devices that we're always on, and then you're always interacting, talking to people. You just need to just chill and just have that spatial awareness and just sit down and just like be aware of my surroundings.
When did you start doing that? Because I want to know, did you excuse me, did you always do that? Did you always, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did you realize, like, hold on, I need to do this? Like,
when I realized the stress was getting to me.
Did you feel you being a little bit more maybe irritable or short in the house? You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, irritable, short, just not really in the mood. I just didn't feel like myself.
Got you.
When I just knew that I had to do something.
Got you.
All right, I need to get back to me or reset. And it's like, sometimes I'll be so in mode from work that I'll come home and still try to be that same person. It's like, no, you're not at work anymore. You can't be, here, doing this and doing that. Hey, we got to do this. We got to do that. We got to do this. You just got to chill out, come in, try to be fun dad, try to be good husband, just chill out and just have that moment for yourself so you can get your mindset right.
Right. And I remember when we were talking, you were telling me, like, even when you're off work for, however many days, I forgot your schedule, but even when you would be out with your family sometimes, you still would find yourself like kind of like being on alert. Yeah. Like, how hard is that to turn it off?
It's here and there. So sometimes it's easier than other times.
Gotcha.
Really. It just depends on how long I've been working. And really what happened,
gotcha.
Like what occurred the day before. Like, sometimes we don't even think about it. We'll handle something that's traumatic, and then go about our day because that's just what we do. Like, I've done it where, and I'm sure a lot of firefighters and first responders have done this, where 10 minutes, 15 minutes prior, you were doing compressions and resuscitating and working, we call it a code, someone that's dead. And then you're right back at the lunch table or the dinner table, and you all just chilling, talking like nothing happened, but then it comes back out later on or something like that, where, that stress we try to have like a debriefing after a traumatic incident. Depends on what it is. There'll be a debriefing where we kind of sit down and talk about things. But when you don't do something like that, you don't know when it's going to affect you, and you don't know, like, there's no rhyme or reason, I don't think, where it just happens. It comes out where I'm just irritable the next day or something like that. And I've gotten a lot better throughout the years. I've learned. I
remember you and I were talking about that.
Yeah, there was like a downtime. I think it was between year 5 and 7 or something like that. I was very stressed out. I was working towards like a promotion, and things were happening. I was just on, and then I just realized, like, man, I gotta really chill out. like you gotta take some time for yourself. And I tried like different things. I tried some like meditation stuff, some stretching.
Gotcha.
You ever hear of sensory deprivation?
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, so there's this place, I think it's in the 3rd ward. They have these isolation sensory deprivation tanks, and there's a pool one also, but you're in this salt water. It's all ultra concentrated salt water, so it's kind of like the Dead Sea,
Gotcha.
But you float. There's these they're called float pods.
Okay.
And you can close it, total darkness. You can put a light on if you want, or some soft music, or you can just have it silent, total darkness, and you just sit there. You just lay there and float in this water, and it takes away just everything. And I did that a few times, and I loved it.
Has that been helpful?
I don't do it anymore.
Are you able to turn off your brain though?
That's the thing. Hour-long session, you can do an hour and a half, but it takes a while for your brain to turn off.
That's what I was saying.
It's crazy because you'll be sitting there thinking, like, your brain's just going through
Yes.
just everything. But then I realized like that's actually a good thing because in the moments of life, you're just going, right?
Yes.
You're not really taking time to really think about what's happening or what has happened.
Processing it.
You're not processing it. And there, I'm just sitting there and your brain's just moving. And then after a while, there's a silence.
Gotcha.
It might take a few sessions. My first session went very well. My second session, I didn't like it. And then, cause it was like, I don't know, I just had some weird thoughts. and then my third and fourth, went better. Actually, the reason I actually initially started going, my wife was pregnant at the time and she was having a lot of body pain, like a lot of pain from that. So I took her there and she said it relieved it.
Oh, really?
Like she felt great. Like it took the pressure off of her back and everything. Like she was laying in there. She was like, that was amazing.
I'm going to tell my wife.
She was like, that was amazing.
I'm going to have to tell her.
Yeah, it helped her out a lot. So then because I went with her. So then I was like, man, I actually like that. Because that was the reason I took her was because I had that idea like, man, this might help her. And it actually did. But then it helped me too. And I was like, oh, I like this. So then I bought a few more sessions and I was chilling in there for a little bit. I haven't done it in quite some time though, because I found other outlets.
Got you. Found other outlets. And I can imagine, that being needed, for you, especially given the climate of your job and the things that you do. And I know that, you even told me like you having to respond to like children, things with children, which is one of the toughest things, right?
That would be, I think my toughest calls are children. Yeah. Even before I had kids, I think that's just the nature of us as humans. Like children are the most innocent individuals on this earth. Like that's, they're so innocent.
Exactly.
So for a bad thing to happen to a child,
I know. So then I know you're doing those things, and these are the things that you were trying to do on your own, right? Like you said, meditation, yoga, the sleep deprivation chamber, and things like that. What do you think about like therapy for firefighters?
I think it's very important. It is very important. And I think we've come a long way because now that's like more common.
Right.
You see people trying to do that stuff. Hey, how's it going?
Right.
It's way more common now. So I think it's not really something that it used to be looked down upon where people are, like, oh, you have to go talk to somebody.
Gotcha.
Now it's more so like you should talk to somebody. Wow. I tried with a therapist. I think I told you that before.
Yeah, you did.
I think you have to find the right person. We talked about that.
Yeah, yes, we did.
Your friend's wife that was on here. I forgot, Dr.
Kia Holloway.
Yeah. So, and I really liked that podcast episode because I was like, man, I was listening to it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You got to find that right person. You guys have to gel. The person I went to him about a few times, had a few sessions. I just wasn't feeling it, so I just stopped. And then I didn't look for another provider, but I probably should have. I think it's very helpful. I know people that have done it. I know my wife was doing it for a while too. She was in law enforcement for 18 years.
Got you.
And she was going to see a person. And then, to get personal, her and I both went together as a couple to go do some couples therapy years ago. Yeah, and it really helped us out. I will say that because the communication was off at the time between us. And once we went and had this like mediator, to talk to and kind of express ourselves and talk. And she didn't even give a whole lot of input, but it was more so us just talking there.
In that space.
Yeah, in that space. And it really worked out. She did give some insights here and there and asked us questions to ask each other and things like that. So it was very helpful.
And I can only imagine that being necessary because the two jobs that you guys do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm sure she had some, dealing with some things just like, and seeing and involved, being around certain situations. Like,
well, yeah, constant stress.
Yes.
And I wasn't really, not to say since I know the field, she knows the field. We both know the field of being a first responder, but we both had the mindset of like it's not that much of a big deal,
Gotcha.
especially like, you know, work and things like that. But then once I started seeing her side of it, she started seeing my side of it, and we talked about things. It really helped us out. Yeah.
Man, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It really did.
So, okay. So let's take it a step further. So what is it like being a father and a husband with the work that you do?
I don't think it's so I deal with the same thing that any other father or husband has to deal with. It's just the extra stuff on the side as far as my profession. But I think being a father and a husband, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
We talked and it was like, yeah. You know what I mean?
A lot of parallels.
That it is. It's a lot of parallels, but it's just the way you adjust and it's really how you respond.
Gotcha.
And how you take care of yourself. That's what it's really about, you know. I try to be the best. Like, I'm big on parenting. That is my big thing. I feel like inside I always wanted kids. When I met my wife, I was early 20s. I was 21.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want kids at the time. And her and I talked and we were like, yeah, we're not having kids. But then once we, you know, progressed and really got going, it was like, I want you to be the mother of my children. You know, I want us to be a family unit.
Yes.
And I always wanted that nuclear family. And I'm so happy I have it now. You know what I mean? And that's like the most important thing to me. I hate to judge other people, but when people are messing around, like, it's a big deal to be a father. I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and people make fun of like Father's Day,
right?
Because Mother's Day is so major. Father's Day,
no disrespect, but for sure,
here's your socks. You know what I mean? Father's Day, but being a father is so important. I think to people in general, not, you know. Even when you're an adult, it means so much to still have a father to go to. My father passed away.
Gotcha.
And I wish I still had him to talk to him, call him. You know what I mean? Because you never stop being a parent. People think like, oh, 18 years and then they're gone. No, you're always a parent, you know? And I take it very seriously. And that's one of the things my wife and I, we don't argue about it, but I get on her about it. Like, hey, we got to really get on our game here. Like, we got to do this. Like, hey, we got this family activity. Let's go. You know, we doing this. We
cherish
doing that.
those times. You like those times because you, like we were just saying, like your son is 9.
Yep.
And you like only got 9, maybe 10 years before.
Yeah.
You know?
He off and doing his own thing, even though I hope that I'm raising him in the way that, you know, he wants to come back.
Right.
And still hang out. Yeah, because at that time, when you're an adult, you know, I know some people that don't talk to their parents, which is wild to me.
Right.
You know, like someone that raised you, I guess it's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, where was the disconnect?
The circumstances.
How did they, circumstances. But I just want to be that parent that raises a good person. And I take it seriously because that's what I always wanted. You know, I'm so fortunate that my aunt provided that for me.
Right.
You know, because my parents did not. My aunt stepped up. My grandmother stepped up to the plate. Then my aunt stepped up to the plate. And they did a phenomenal job.
Right.
So, you know, I just want to provide that too. And it's crazy to me how some people BS with their time and don't take it seriously.
Yes.
You know,
and miss out because that male perspective is extremely important.
Extremely important.
Extremely important.
And I know that, you know, you don't have to be. People say, "Oh, I don't have to be friends with my." Yeah. Some people think that, you know, I don't have to be friends with my kids or something like that. You know, that's a weird statement to me. I want to be a parent and a friend.
Yes.
You know, at the same time.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a spectrum. It's kind of like, you know, you're a parent sometimes, you're a friend sometimes. You have to step in and put on multiple hats.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And then the same with my wife. When you get married, you guys are husband, wife, friends, business partners.
all of the above.
Yeah, coworkers,
Yes.
you're everything with each other. So you have to put on multiple hats when you're doing these things, and you got to know when to take off a hat and when to put on a hat.
No, for sure.
And some never come off, like being a husband. That never comes
That
off.
never comes off. Never ever come off.
But
I know that you're doing a good job though, and I know that you're training up your children, because not only just from speaking to you, but I know that you're leading by example as well. You know what I mean?
trying to.
Especially them being able to see what you do and seeing how you come home, seeing how you carry yourself, seeing how you saying like, "Hey, put those devices down.
Yep.
We're going on a family trip.
Yep.
We're gonna lock in. We're gonna
lock
enjoy
in.
this time together." That I think that adds another layer of importance to the upbringing.
Yeah, because it is tough sometimes, because it's the easy thing to do. Say, here, take your iPad, get out of my face. I'm tired. Go do this. There's a time and a place for that. It does keep
absolutely
kids busy, and there's a time and a place. But then there's also the fact that, this is our time that we need to spend together. So I try to not force, but like even at dinner time, things like that, I try to take away stuff and like, no, we're eating together. I'm trying to force these things sometimes, but sometimes I do allow it.
Right.
But you have to make sure that there's a balance.
No, for sure.
You got to make sure that there's a balance with all that stuff. And not to say that I have it figured out, because I'm still learning things. I'm still trying to learn. I have not perfected any craft whatsoever, but I'm just dedicated to keep working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep working on it. That's why I say, like, even when I get home and I'm tired, it's like, I can be tired. I can, go chill out, which is good. Sometimes I do need to chill out. Like, all right, take an hour for yourself and chill out.
Yeah.
But then come back and lock in. When the pandemic happened, one of my outlets was working out. It's always been my outlet, actually. My whole life was working out. But the gym's closed, and I got into running. I got really, really into running. I loved it. And I would wake up early, like 4 a.m., go for a run, and then come home and feel great, like ready to do whatever. Even when I would get off,
makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. Like, you got to find that outlet. But I told my wife one time, I had just got off of shift, got home, and she was tired because the kids had like stayed up or something like that. But I was like, hey, if you give me about an hour and a half right now, like I can come in the house and be a good dad right now. Good dad, good husband. But if I go for this run and really get, myself right, my mindset, and I can come back and be great. I can come back and I told her that, and for sure she believed it. You can tell the difference between when I, go and have some time for myself and have this outlet versus when I don't. So when I come back from this run, you better believe I'm gonna be on point. I'm locked in, and I would go do my thing, come back, and be like, let's get it.
It's crazy what an early morning run will do for you. Or even just an early morning exercise.
Yeah.
Like, it does some kind of reinvigorating for you, for your brain, for your body and everything, for you to go on and do what you have to do.
And people would think the opposite. They'll be like, I need to get more sleep and stay in bed. Yeah, but you still wake up kind of like, man, like, oh, it's over. You know what I mean? But if you go and really get some mental exercise, I like to say mental, emotional, physical exercise.
Absolutely.
And then come back, you're stronger.
No.
You have more energy. You have more patience, tolerance, everything.
Absolutely. I felt that way lots of times whenever I can get up early.
Yeah, whenever you can get up early.
Jay.
Right.
I've been slacking lately.
No, everyone does. I go up and down. Man. I go up and down with it. I go in grooves. But then once I'm locked in, I'm locked in. But I hear you. And that's for everybody. Sometimes you get a slump. The biggest thing is just to get out of it.
I got you.
When
you told me about your you taking the Amtrak to Chicago with your kids and things like that.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I was gonna hold this question for the pod.
Yeah.
So my son is out of school now. He was extremely ecstatic to be out of school, right?
Yep.
2 days later, he's calling me while I'm at work talking about he's bored. So I'm like, Walt, what do you want to do? Like, create a routine. He's 11. You know what I mean? So I'm like, create a routine for yourself. Get up, get you some breakfast, do your little workout, do you some reading.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the boy is bored out of his mind. So you just gave me an idea. Once, the wife is almost due, right? The baby will be here soon. What are something that you can give me that you think I could do with him? He's in sports.
First, let me tell you. So when my son says he's bored, and my wife started telling him this too, when my son is like, "Oh, Dad, I'm bored. Mom, I'm bored," I'll go, "You know who's bored? Boring people. Boring people are bored.
For sure.
Like there's so many things that you could be doing. Boring people are bored." So my wife is very artistic. Mm-hmm. She can sew. She can paint. She can do all these. So like my house is like arts and crafts central.
Gotcha.
So there's canvases, there's paint, there's markers, there's a bunch of stuff. And my kids actually like to do these crafts too. They'll make certain things. My wife is always like buying stuff to just create something. Like we went to a gala, and this lady decided to make her own dress. Legit, made her own dress, and she looked bomb at the gala. Like people were coming up to her like, "Where'd you get that?" She's like, "I made it." How dope is that? That's so dope. She's like, "I made it." Everybody's raving over it. But that's the type of person she is. When she'll get hyper focused on something. So my kids are kind of forming into the same way now.
Gotcha.
Like they'll go and she'll be like, "Go make something." Whether they're playing with like Play-Doh or the kinetic sand,
or dry noodles, and we used to use the glue, right?
Yeah, so she has them doing a bunch of stuff like that. So with my son, I'll say, go read a book.
Yes,
we have them in. My son is in guitar lessons. Mm-hmm. My daughter does ukulele lessons, and I'll say, go practice. Go practice that. I did that. I don't want to go do that. I'll just, hey man, you gotta make something up, man.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell him, Jay. I'm like, figure it out. You got a lot of opportunity and stuff to do here. Mm-hmm. We got the treadmill down here. I said, take a walk.
Oh,
you got the ball. Go ahead and dribble the ball. You got the soccer ball. Go kick the ball. You got a lot of opportunities to do stuff.
I saw something online that was so funny. He was like, man, people don't know what like boredom is nowadays, because I remember as a kid doing activity was looking at the window while it was raining, watching the raindrops fall, and you're like, oh, like that's where it lands. Like for real, that's how you really lock in on that. But yeah, for my kids, I just try to just go create something.
Yeah,
go create something. Go write something.
I told them otherwise you can just clean up the whole house.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Like, I'll find something for you to do.
Exactly.
You're really bored. Hey. And you want something to do, I'll find something for you to do.
Hey, how many times have you heard that?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I told him that, like, listen, Nana used to tell me if I'm bored, she'll find something for me to do. And that's usually meant cleaning up. Yep. So I stayed out of her sight.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So before we get in here, I want to talk a little bit. I know you're teaching, right? How are you liking teaching? Are you enjoying it? What made you even want to become an instructor?
What made me want to do it was really, I stumbled upon it because of other people. Gotcha. So I had other people that were like, hey, you should teach. And then I had heard from more experienced people that have told me like, hey, if you teach, it actually helps you. It benefits you part of your job, because you're teaching your job basically.
Gotcha.
And each one, reach one, teach one. You start teaching people the craft, and you kind of hone your own skills
in the process.
Yeah. Especially the basics.
Yep.
Because I teach the basic, level 1 firefighter certification. Gotcha. So that's the certification you need in Wisconsin to become a firefighter. Every firefighter has it. So with doing that, man, it's a passion that I didn't even know I had.
Gotcha.
Like when I start to teach other students, and then I see the light bulb go off where it kind of clicks or something like that. It kind of lights a little fire inside of me like, man, yeah, that's what's up. Because I remember that when I was going through school, I had some instructors that were really good. I had some instructors that weren't the greatest.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, I had some instructors that weren't the greatest. But then those good instructors, I'll never forget it. It was like, that's what I want to be like.
Gotcha.
And, I just try to implement that into my own teaching was that kind of enthusiasm and passion, because that's how you get people interested, and that's how you keep people interested in the jobs, whether it be fire or EMS. I teach mainly fire right now though. Gotcha. But I do love it though, just because I feel sharper with my own skills.
Gotcha.
And I get other people interested in it as well. So with teaching these people now, I'm starting to see students come on the job where I'm seeing them out like, oh, you got hired? Like, oh man, that's
and you were in my class.
That's so cool. Yeah, like that's cool.
And I know you were telling me about your approach. Like, you have the seriousness because this is a job that really, you have to be serious about in terms of when you're responding. But you also have that practicality and that humanistic side where it's just like, I still want you to enjoy this learning experience. Yes. I want you to understand it. I don't want to be so like rigid with you. I want you to know what it is, but I want you to enjoy this process.
Enjoy it as well.
Because I think sometimes some of the elder statesmen of some of these, professions, even teachers, you know what I'm saying? Even in education, just in general.
Oh, yeah, I know you've seen it.
Yeah, you see like that. This is the way you do it. It's direct instruction, you know what I mean? And it's you can't go left, you can't go right, you know what I mean? So I know that you utilize that in terms of your pedagogy.
And a lot of times when I get these students, it's their introduction into the fire service. Right. It is like what
first impression.
What they see from you is what they will envision when they get out there. So I try to make the best first impression, because you only get a first impression one time, right? Yep. So when they come, I greet them, make sure that I'm positive. I try to make sure I do that every day. Is make sure I'm positive and enthusiastic about what we're doing. It'll be the most boring thing, but I'm like, talking about this subject. And if you're enthusiastic about it, it might become contagious.
Gotcha.
Where they catch it too. And that's really what you want, is to keep them engaged and into it. And I think that goes for children too, right?
Absolutely.
Even though I'm teaching adults, that goes for children too. So I'm sure, teaching children is the same way. Yeah. But especially like since it's their introduction into the fire service, I want them to know that even 10 years down the line, you can still have this same enthusiasm, and you should. I still look back at it where one of my instructors had, 15 years on or so, 15 to 20, and dude was like super enthusiastic. Shout out Scott Lassa. He's retired now from the Milwaukee Fire Department, but I had him in strategies and tactics class, and he would always just hold court and just let us express ourselves and let us do tactics. And I still remember that class, right?
Yeah.
And that was 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I still rave about that class. Like, man, that was the best class I ever took.
When you're able to engage like that, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to teach them well, and I'm just trying to make sure that the retention is there, because some people, figure out like, oh, it's not for me. Like we hired a person, I don't know what school he went to. We hired this guy. He was 21, I believe. Day 2 of his academy, he was just like, it's not for me. And I don't think that was any fault of anybody, like the instructors or anything like that. It just wasn't for him. So it's not for everybody. That's for sure. The fire service is not for everybody. But a lot of people that may think they can't do it can. If they have the right mindset and the right attitude towards it, it can be for you, especially if you work hard enough at it. Because when I first started, I had one instructor that told me that I was not going to be a firefighter.
You had an instructor tell you that? As you're in the process of trying to learn.
Because I wasn't the smartest, you know what I mean? I was... And I wasn't applying myself to the best of my ability. I know that. I wasn't the smartest. I was kind of hanging around the smart people, which was a good move for me. It was. You should always surround yourself with good people, smart people, motivated people.
Right.
And I just happened to do that. because of my personality. And I learned from this guy I befriended, and I was like, all right, this is what I need to do. You know, I could do the bare minimum, but then, you know, I'm only average. Or I could, you know, excel and do extra.
Yep.
And then I'll be well noticed and really apply myself. So what really did it for me was when I had students come to me asking questions about like getting hired and things like that. And then a few students were like, you know, I want to take the same path that you took. That means a lot. You know, that when someone's looking at you like, hey, I want to do what you did.
Gotcha.
That really hits home. It's like, that's a big responsibility. That's a lot to have on your shoulders. Like, all right, it's more than just myself. I got a lot of other people that's behind me that really want to get to where I'm at. And I just don't ever want to take that for granted, because when somebody looks at you in your position, they're like, that's where I want to be. That's a cool thing. Like when you think about it, there's someone out there that's like, I want to be like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like,
no, that's a huge compliment.
Yeah, it is. Like that's cool. That's what the firefighters that I shouted out that were in my Explorer program, that were helping out with my Explorer program. I saw them and I was like, I want to be where they are. Like, that's cool.
And you need that.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see that.
Yeah, and now I'm with them. So that's pretty cool.
It's a full circle.
Full circle. It's a full. And so the same school that I went to MATC, the fire school. Now I'm teaching that exact same
giving back
class.
And you give
that
back.
exact. I never envisioned myself being an instructor there teaching this Firefighter 1 certification class that I had to go through. When I was going through it, I was like, man, this is really cool. These guys know everything. Now that I'm in this position, I realized like, nah, nobody knows everything. So you went
through it and you came back to go through it, but bring other people through it now. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can be that instructor that I always wanted, you know, and in some instances I had. So actually one of my Firefighter 1 instructor is like one of my biggest mentors, Mark Tomzak.
Okay.
He calls me his son. He's been calling me his son since fire school. So he'll call me every now and again. You know, we'll talk. You know, I'll go see him. We'll talk and hang out. But he was one of my big influencers as well. You know?
You still get to keep tabs.
It's important to still stay connected to your mentors and still have that mentorship. Everybody needs that, no matter what level you get to.
Agreed, 100%. And I know when you were saying that, because you just made me think about something when you were going out to respond to an incident and you had an intern. You said you could see yourself in that student.
Yeah.
Have you had an instance where you've been in the classroom and maybe a light bulb does go off for a student or anything like that, or you see a student that you're teaching? Have you seen a student in your class that reminded you of you?
I've seen multiple students with my same like characteristics.
Gotcha.
Not one single individual per se. That's like, man, that dude is just like me.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because
during that time, gotcha.
Yeah, because honestly, it's a different world right now where, like, I think in all industries is pretty, because it's generational, right? This is a different generation, and these are different people coming up, man. Let me tell you, they are different. They're different. You know, they're because the way I was raised and where I'm from is very unique, and I think my outlook, the way I look at things is very different.
Gotcha.
I just feel like based off of like who I was raised by, like I had a lot of cousins.
Gotcha.
My aunt really was like, she entrepreneur, like hustler's mentality kind of thing.
I remember you telling me that.
I don't see that a whole lot anymore. So it's
Are you
different.
calling them lazy?
I'm not calling them lazy. No, it's just different, and they have other ways of getting it. They have other ways of getting it,
shortcuts, or accessibility to AI.
I think all of that plays a factor, because back I didn't have any of that. We didn't have any of that stuff. So it was more so like, it's the difference between writing longhand and typing. You know what I mean? Like it's just I'm a longhand writing type of person versus
Note
someone
taker.
that's like all online. They don't even put pen to paper.
Got you.
You know, so
Yeah, I still take notes for sure.
right. So there's a huge difference, and that's like the big thing is in all industries there's a gap with recruitment. It's like a down slope, you know, because it's harder to recruit people. Like back when I was applying for jobs, there was hundreds and thousands of applicants. You know, now it's in the teens. You know, we it's hard trying to find good quality applicants nowadays to really bring on a job, and they're different. It's a different look at it. Like some of the new generation don't really jive with the schedule like that. Me, I saw the schedule and I was like, that's great. I work 24 hours and I get off, you know, and I get, you know, this amount of time off. We work about 10 days a month. And people might look at that like, oh man, you only work 10 days a month. Like, man, that's crazy, you know, but it's 24 hours. When I say a day, it's a day, you know? But some of the new generation doesn't really like that. They're like, I got to be there for a whole day. Like, you know, but then you're not thinking about the
drive is not that long. Right?
Yeah. The attention span and the drive is not that long. So it's different. But
sure.
as far as like students that I'm seeing, though, I have had some gems where students come in. I had this girl in my class, I think it was 2 classes ago. So it might have been last fall. Squared away, all A's, hitting the books like crazy. Great. The only thing she needed to work on was which is easily obtainable, but her athletic ability, and that was it. Like, but other than that, she had to drive. She had it, and she actually did remind me of myself. I was like, that was it right there. I can see like it's clicking with her. She gets it, and she's gonna be on a job in no time. I'm sure of it, because she had the attitude. She was so dedicated that her hair was getting in the way, right? She cut it. I was like, oh, she's serious. She like, you know what? I ain't got time for this. Gave herself a cut. Came in. I was like, oh, snap. Like, dang, you cut your hair? Because, you know, we're donning gear and everything like that. And it was
getting in the way.
It was getting in the way. So she cut it. It was like,
that's dedication.
Wow, that's dedication. I don't know if I would have done, you know, like, wow. I was like, all right, she's serious about, you know, learning and getting this. She's like, no distractions. She said no distractions. That's a huge, big chop. I was like, okay.
No excuses.
No excuses. But then I get a lot of people with excuses. I don't know if that's always been there where people always have had excuses, but you know, it's there, you know, but it's my job. You know it because you've been an educator. It's our job as educators to maneuver around that. Let's find a different avenue to reach them and try to pull them forward.
You gotta customize it.
Yeah, because you can't be just bullish and be like, well, if they fail, they fail. Well, now you're failing because you aren't trying your best to maneuver around that and try to reach them.
How do you sleep at night with that mentality, right?
Right.
Like, just if they fail, they fail.
Yeah, like nah.
I don't think we signed up to see people fail. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I'm trying to reach because sometimes the grass is greener. I'm like, come on over here. Like, all it's gonna take is a little bit of discipline and a little bit, you know, let me get your attention for a few moments, and maybe I can persuade you and get you around to on this side.
Exactly.
Like, come on, it's green. I'm telling you.
Check it out.
Come on, you want to come over here now? I'm telling you, but it's tough. When you're dealing with adult learners.
Adult learners. Yes.
I'm like, what are you guys doing? You can't be wasting your time like that. Like, it's out here. You got to go and get it.
Especially trying to change those minds, man.
It's you know, everybody comes from different walks of life. You know, you can tell who's been at the bottom, and you can tell who has been, you know, midline. You can tell who's been up their whole life. You know, and
that matters.
But the good thing about the fire service and you know, being a first responder, the door is open for everybody. No matter how you grew up, the door is open for you. You can get in. It's just what way are you taking to get in? That's really it. So and it really shows in some people's like threshold for responding to certain stressors. Some people, they'll deal with something traumatic and it's like, you can tell they probably grew up a little rougher,
Yeah,
things don't
don't
get to
faze
them that
them
much. It
too
don't
much.
phase them. And then you can tell the person that's been,
Kind of sheltered.
sheltered, where they get flustered and a stressful situation happens and it's like, oh, they can't make a decision or something like that. You can tell the
I
difference.
can imagine.
But the
seeing
thing
that.
is, everybody can work on it. So that person
Right.
that
You
has
get
been
better.
sheltered can get to that baseline of where stressors don't really affect them as much. They just
Right.
need to work at it.
Yeah.
And that goes for everybody. Everybody can get to that point, but it's just the amount of work that
How
you
you
have
gonna
to
put
take
in.
to get to it. Me, I just use certain things to really get me to a good spot. One of my things is it's relax, prioritize, and execute. So first, I just try to relax, prioritize what's going on, what's important, what's not, and then all right, start knocking things out. Let's start knocking things out. So it's been an interesting field for sure. And I think we talked about, like I'll talk about it. So like with first responders, right? We were talking about you actually told me that June Mental Health Awareness Month for
Was for men.
Men, right? Yeah, and I did not know that. I was like, oh, really? Like, oh man, maybe I did know it, and I just forgot.
Yeah,
maybe it got
it's
overshadowed
everything
or
for a
something.
month. Every month got something different.
Yeah, every month has something different. So we were talking about it as far as like mental health, and I noticed like I was in a slump for a while. I just wasn't feeling like myself, kind of like not like a depression,
Right.
but I just didn't have that same like
Just in the funk.
joy, I was just in a funk, you know what I mean? And one of my coworkers was like, yeah, I'm feeling that way too. I went and got my hormone panel done and my levels checked out. It turns out that he was low on testosterone. And I was like, what? Like, how? Like, you late 20s, early 30s? Like, that's crazy. Well, apparently, and this goes the same for most first responders and service men and women that have served in the military. So when your stress is always high, your stress hormone is always up. So then your body starts to your natural levels of testosterone start to deteriorate. Now there's a bigger, biological reasoning for that. I'm no doctor. I'm not, I'm not into it that heavy, but I do understand the basics and I've understood my baseline. So I went and got checked out, got a hormone panel done, and I was at normal level for what a man my age should be. But normal level is like just basic. It's universal. There's so many people out here that doesn't mean that it's optimal for you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So when I went and got checked out, they were like, yeah, but your symptoms are saying otherwise. You're at the low level of what's normal. So they were like, we can, maybe help you out, do a treatment. So they gave me this treatment. It was a replacement therapy where I take a medication that helps me excrete more of my own protein. It basically, testosterone. It basically boosts my own levels. So I started doing that, and the effects of it, I felt it maybe after a few weeks, a month or so, something like that. I was like, oh man, like I did not realize like that I was going through this, but I guess it's more severe in other people, because they were like, we've seen about 90% of firefighters that come through here suffer from this. From it, yes.
And it's more cortisol than testosterone, right? Than the cortisol level.
The cortisol is the stress hormone. So if that's too high, I want to say it affects your testosterone levels in some way.
In some way, for sure.
It does, yeah. It affects your testosterone levels in some way. So, but yeah, it really helped me out. I started seeing a big difference in the way I'm looking at things. I started having more energy. It just helped me out. So I encourage people to really get yourself checked out, especially with everything that we're dealing with today with all these artificial foods, the processed foods, even the clothing that we wear. So everything's like all plastics.
I know.
And our consumption, everything.
I'm trying to find the watermelon with seeds.
Bruh, I tried to do that the
Come
other
on,
day.
man. Everything is seedless.
It's
like,
tough and it's expensive if you find it too. It's like $9 for a watermelon with seeds.
The wife been craving them, and I've been like craving them too. And I'm thinking like, man, what's up with all these seedless?
What's up with all the yeah. 100%. So like everything that we are dealing with is really attacking us.
Right.
So
and your body gonna tell on you.
Your body's gonna tell on you, right? Yeah, you have those effects, and then you have to mitigate it somehow. You have to try to help yourself or help your body. So that's what I try to eat healthy. I try to go to bed early. Doesn't always work out for me, even though I wake up early too. But that's a priority because I want to wake up and get myself right for the day. I don't feel right when I sleep in.
Gotcha.
I do it every now and again, but man, I'm up. And my son kind of adopted that too now, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Dude wakes up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock on his own.
He got the
on
example.
his own. He's just up, and it's a cool age right now because he just wakes up and he'll make himself some breakfast, maybe some cereal, something like that, and do his thing. And he's up chilling, get himself dressed. It's like, man, I remember I just like, when did the time go? I remember you, hey, Dad, I'm hungry. Like now he doesn't even bother us.
Don't even need it.
He doesn't even bother us. Yeah, he's
extent.
just self-sufficient. But I encourage like a lot of young men to get themselves checked out, make sure that you're doing right, eat healthy, drink water, stay hydrated, things like that. I try to stay away from, I'm not a big drinker or anything like that, but I enjoy myself from time to time. My wife and I have some wine, but a lot of us need to really get some holistic, health going, like really
and
take
make a
care
conscious
of yourself.
effort to do so.
Conscious effort to do so,
Yep, and be consistent.
100%. I don't know, get your diet right, start eating properly.
Get around the right people too.
Because that affects your mental health.
Yeah.
It really does. What you consume and how you living. That
Brain fog is real.
It's definitely real,
You know what I'm
especially if you want to
saying?
handle business and do what you need to do in life to be successful. Yeah, brain fog is super real. And if you notice yourself kind of in a slump and things like that, start looking at what you're consuming, what you're viewing, with everything. Like,
absolutely,
100%,
absolutely.
Like I giving myself a little time off. Like, all right, no phone today, kind of thing. Like I'm trying. It's hard with when
you gotta have that
emails
will,
and stuff.
You gotta have that will to do it too. Like you gotta have it inside. To be like, let me just stop.
Let me just stop.
Let me just stop. Put this away. Take a break from that.
Yeah,
and I'm not eating that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like let me go. Let me get up and do this extra walk. You know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta do that. So, my final question: what's your motive? What's your motive?
So, I have this saying that I always tell myself, and it's super simple. It's be more.
Be more.
And it's like an open-ended thing. Because it's like, well, be more what? Be more what? Everything. Be more kind. Be more respectful. Be more of a husband.
Got you.
Be more of a father. Be more of a friend. Just be more. And that's just been my mentality. So like, especially when I'm tired, when I'm not feeling the life that I'm living at the time or something like that, it's like, all right, man, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
You gotta be more. Like, and that's why I didn't even touch on. I volunteer quite a bit. I volunteer for the PFFW burn camp, which helps injured youth ages 7 to 17 that have been burned in their lives. Been doing that for 12 years. I volunteer for the Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. I just went on my 12th flight. We fly veterans out to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials and monuments that are dedicated to them, mostly Korean War and Vietnam veterans. Yeah. We get World War II veterans every now and again too, though. But I just try to be more helpful, be more of a human, and just try to get out here and do my best to make a mark on the world. That's really it, and I feel like if everybody lived their life that way, we'd have a much better community, much better city, much better world. So that's one thing I always tell myself is to be more. And I'm really hoping that I can get that into my kids.
Gotcha.
If I can get that into my kids, I know they'll do great things. If I can get that into my students, I know they'll do great things. Like, I just try to make sure that I'm walking that.
Yes.
I'm walking that life that I want to, see in other people. Just be more.
Yes.
I want to spread that message to everybody.
For sure.
Be more. Whatever you're doing, be more.
Be more. I like that. And 100%. You just described a servant leader for sure. You're an individual that definitely wants to serve. But and not only just talking it, you want to walk it. You want to do it. You want to demonstrate it. And I think that's going to continue to be, what your work is going to continue to be a testament to that be more that you stand for. For the sake of you, like you said, volunteering to do things. You're not looking for anything in return. Yeah. You're doing it because it's solely what you want to do.
It's what I want to do.
You enjoy doing that. You enjoy impacting people.
Yeah.
You're a servant leader in your own right.
That's 100% right. I really do enjoy helping people because I feel like if you are all for self, there's really not a whole lot. I mean, yeah, you might gain something from it, but spiritually, emotionally, you're not really gaining a whole lot. Absolutely. You might gain, a personal item or, money or something like that. But really, when you help somebody out, it does something for your soul. It makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. I'm sure God feels it,
Yes.
So, and that's what I'm here for, is like just to be more and really help people. I like just doing things for other people just for the sake of it.
Enrichment for everybody. Right?
It really is. It's going to help you be a better person.
Absolutely.
And I think the universe works in that way where if you put out that energy, it's going to come back to you.
Gotcha.
First, I don't know what it is or how it works, but anytime I've done great things for other people, great things have happened to me.
For sure.
So, and it's like, man, where did this come from? Maybe it was because I, put out that energy and
those
it came
actions,
back.
Man. Those actions.
Because I cannot explain some of the good things that have happened in my life. I'm like, just by chance, like just serendipity. It's crazy.
Right.
It's like, me? Wow. I'm blessed.
Right. So and you wear it well. You're super humble, man. And I can imagine that those things coming back to you are not only because of your volunteerism and your service, but also just your personality. You know what I mean? In terms of like your ability to create relationships, right? And with those people, whether it be out in the field when you're working, whether it be volunteering, you at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or your family. I mean, charity starts in the home, and then you go from home to out in the community, and you be able to spread that, and you continue to do that. So,
hey man,
keep it going. Be more. I love it. Be more.
Thank you for having me on the podcast, man. This is great. It's
I appreciate you coming on, man.
I feel humble because I know you're a busy man.
You're busier than me.
To have me on is really cool. I'm like, man, you really want me? I don't know if I'm worthy. That's really cool.
Absolutely, man. Got to get those perspectives from a variety of different people, especially people, that referred to me, but also just individuals that I'm able to sit down and meet.
Yeah.
We were able to meet first. You know what I mean? Before you know it, like, look, we didn't click.
100%. So, and now I got your number. So.
Yeah. So I appreciate you coming through, man. It's been a great episode. Continue to do you. Continue to be more. I'll definitely make sure I tell Janelle and Valencia to be on the lookout.
Oh
for
yeah,
that. So
I have a meeting with her on Monday.
Yeah,
Janelle.
So be nice to my man.
Yeah, plug me.
Yeah, I got you.
Those are bosses right there.
No, I got you. I'll holler at them. So until next time, what's your motive?